Hi, welcome to Gabie's Knit Goodies. I'm Gabie and I have lots of knitting to talk about and also a little bit of crochet. You can find me on Instagram at Gabie's Knit Goodies, like my YouTube channel name here, as well as at GKG Yarn on Instagram. I post all of my yarn babies and some of my dyeing on there, like my dye process. And I am at Gabie's Knit Goodies on Etsy, where I sell my hand-dyed yarn. I am a single person for my business, and I dye small batches and have somewhat limited quantities, very limited quantities, let's face it. But if you ever see something that you want that is not on Etsy, just let me know and I do my best to dye it for you. Now let's get into the fun knitting. I have a finished object to show you. Hasn't been blocked, but it's finished, and a new whip, and one that is like so close to being finished. I'm very excited. Let's talk about the finished object. This beauty can you see it? It's too big for the camera angle that I have. Anyways, this is the Gro Shawl by Fiber Tales. It is a triangular shawl where you cast on this bottom edge first and you do the beautiful flowers here on the bottom and the floral stuff, and then you decrease along one side to get to a point, and as you go you do these beautiful braids. Now I put it, I think, in a video a couple weeks ago. I have a little video of me making these little braids. You actually unravel and then use a crochet hook to make these beautiful braids. I knit mine out of Polar Bear, 100% merino, very soft and squishy. It is superwash of my own yarn here, and it turned out very nice. I have not measured it yet, and like I said, I have not blocked it yet. So I am going to measure it first before blocking, and then figure out kind of where to lay it when I block it. But it's very bouncy and squishy, and it's a gift, sadly, so it's not mine. But I feel like it looks a little smaller than what's in the picture, so blocking it will make it grow a little bit. I don't want to aggressively block it because I want it to keep a lot of squishiness to it, but I do want it to be the appropriate size. If I were to wear it, if I was wearing it like with a coat on a cold day, I would probably wrap it with the little floral triangle section here, corner down, and wrap it around and have it nice and cozy up on my neck, and I would be very warm. It's not that warm today. It's a beautiful day, but it's not that warm. I mean, not that cold, rather. But it would keep me very warm. And I have knit this for my sister-in-law, and she plans on wearing it more over her shoulders as a shawl, and keeping it like on her office chair, because she said her office is cold. So this works lovely as well. Even if I did not block it and have it get any larger, this would totally work for her purposes, and it's gorgeous. I'm happy with this. And it's done, which is so exciting. It was pretty quick knit. It's knit on like, goodness, now I don't even remember, like size 9 needles or something. It's pretty big. And I think that the stitch count or gauge is like 14 stitches per 4 inches. So it's a pretty big gauge. So it goes by fast. And it ends up being nice and squishy and gorgeous. I highly recommend it. It was an easy pattern and it was fun. I will talk about that again. I might do its own separate video with all of the details in it, or I might just talk about it here after I've actually blocked it. Yeah. Okay. Very happy about that. I think I have woven in my ends, but I haven't cut them. So I can kind of figure out how many, I haven't weighed it, how many skeins I used. 1, 2, 3. Alright, 4 skeins. I used 4 skeins of 100 grams each. So 400 grams total. And I have a tiny ball left over. So I didn't play yarn chicken, but it wasn't like I had a huge amount left over either. So my next work in progress, you guys have seen, been working on it for a very, very, very long time, but I've never been this close. Y'all should be very proud of me if I can figure out how to hold it up. Alright, it looks a little funny at the moment. See if I can tuck this in. I think it'll make it look better. My collar. It is like 98% done. And it is the gorgeous sweater number 20. My favorite things knitwear. Both sleeves are done. If I had sound effects, I would put a round of clapping into this. And I have already picked up and knit the majority of my collar as well. And I am doing the larger collar, and it is a folded, a ribbed folded V-neck. So it looks a little odd at the moment. I just have it, they're still on the cords. It's still on the needles. So I have to finish just like a tiny bit more and then like seam it down so it stays folded. And then I'll be done. Weave in my ends, maybe a little bit of light blocking. Yeah, the only reason I had stopped is because I ran out of my, I think it's this one, yeah, my White Swan, which is the DK weight merino I'm using, and I'm holding it with the Cloud Kid Mohair and Silk. And I ran out of my ball of the DK, and I was kind of debating about what to do about that, because I obviously don't want to just knit with this for the remainder, like 4 or 5 rows, but I don't want to break into a new skein either. I have the little bit of leftover of this. I was thinking I might be able to get away with using that and just cutting this. Because you don't see it, it's tucked under, and it's on the inside. And truthfully, this might feel better than at that seam right here on my chest than the Kid Mohair. I love the Kid Mohair. I think it's really soft. But occasionally, I don't know, you can feel it. Whereas I feel like this is just like buttery, invisible. But anyways, I am thrilled that this is so close to being done, considering how long it has been. Like, I don't know, over a year. Yeah, my favorite things to knitwear, sweater number 20, gorgeous sweater. It shouldn't take as long as what I have taken for it, but I just gravitate these days to easy, mindless knits that I can pick up and tote with me everywhere. That's why this got done so quickly, because it's mainly garter stitch. After you do those initial rows, it's like garter stitch until you have to do a braid. So super easy. Whereas this one, you have to follow a chart. Not memorizable chart. But I'm glad I've done it, and it's going to be off the needles and ready to wear before it ever gets cold. So yay for me. Alright, so I decided to cast on something else because I bound off something. Isn't that the way it is? You bind off one thing and you cast on at least one more. That is a knitter's math. So this is the beginning of the Felix Cardigan. No idea who it's by. I will put it up here and everything will be linked down below. The yarn and the patterns and everything. So it looks small now, but this is the Felix Cardigan, and it is a pretty simple cardigan. It's a raglan. The most unique and special thing about this pattern is the pretty lace increases along the raglan section and just the placement of them. I am using a worsted weight Highlands wool that I dyed for this purpose, and it is knit on size 10 5mm needles. I am knitting the third size because I do want it to be plenty wide. Let's see, I can try it on. I need to put on different needles really. So I am finished. There we go. See if you can see it at all here. So you cast on at the neck, but not with the collar portion, like where it would be after the collar will be added on later. And you do your raglan increases, and I am finished with those, and now I'm just working stockinette stitch until it is deep enough to split for my sleeves. It is a pretty quick project because it's on large needles and it doesn't have a lot of complication to it. So I think it's going well, and I'm enjoying my plum brown yarn. It's tonal, got highs and lows in there, and it's very squishy. It's not as soft as like the merino. It's a little bit more rustic, but it has great bounce, and I think it works really well for my purposes. This is my first skein that I am working, and it is almost done, so I'm going to need to wind up another one because this is like my go-to project now that I'm taking with me. So I think it'll go pretty fast. And I want to always have yarn available for me. So I'm going to wind up another one hopefully today. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm going to knit it straight to the pattern. I think I will try it on at the armhole split to see if the third size is too deep or if it's correct. Yeah, that's my plan. And then the modification I am planning on making is to the hem. I plan on doing like a folded hem and putting an I-cord in it to make it able to have a cinched in, like a tied waist, kind of like a bomber jacket or something. Yes. We'll see how that goes. It's my vision anyways. I think it'll be cute. And if it doesn't work out, I can always just do the regular hem and then have it be, just the straight regular cardigan. So, yeah, I don't have a name for my yarn yet. If you have any suggestions, currently I'm calling it Plum. It's a brown plum color. So I don't have any more knitting, however, I do have another project I'm working. Oh, actually, I have another finished object. And it's in crochet. which is not something I do a whole lot of. Knitting is definitely my favorite. But I'm teaching my a knit and crochet class, as well as like a sewing and handicrafts class, and they're both going to be doing crochet here shortly. I will have to run, maybe I'll take a picture of it and put it here. So for my knit and crochet class, I'm going to do a sampler, and I've created a pattern for like a sampler dishcloth. Just like my mosaic cowl that I was doing, I did that pattern. If you are interested in doing this sampler dishcloth in crochet, let me know. I'll be happy to send it to you. I have an email address, it's down below. I did have someone take me up on my mosaic cowl, which I don't have that handy to show you guys. I'll have to show it to you next time. But everybody was really fast with it. They like did it in a week, the majority of them, and that was not what I expected at all. And it turned out beautifully. Yes, so the crochet sampler dishcloth or washcloth, I am having them cast on and do a single crochet row, half double crochet, and a double crochet row. Part of it is to see their skill level and what they know, and teach the ones who don't know the stitches yet. I have a few that have never done crochet at all, so we'll see how it goes. And my vision for it is that if they're struggling with single crochet, then just do multiple rows of single crochet before attempting a different stitch. If they are masters at single, half double, and double crochet, then I have a shell stitch pattern, which just adds some visual interest, as well as the ability to like follow a pattern and make something out of those double crochet stitches. So I think it turned out really cute, and then optional to do border and do a little loop on the corner. Yeah. So it turned out cute, and I'm hoping that the project really works for the varying skill levels that I have. We will see. Wish me luck. Meanwhile, in my middle school class, when we do crochet, my plan is to teach how to do a granny square. We'll see how this goes, because again, I have a variety of skill levels. I have two classes, and one is definitely has done a good amount of crochet in the past, and then the other one is a little bit younger, and some of them are totally new to it. So I'm hoping to be able to teach the newbies how to do a granny square, and then the girls who are a little bit farther along, I want to teach them how to do a hexagonal granny square, and then with various numbers of hexagons, you can seam them together and make animals. My plan is to make a penguin. I will put a little picture up here of the image I found online that I thought was really cute, and I could totally do it. So this is what I have been doing, and I have, let's see, 7 of these, and then I think I need like 4 more maybe to finish off the numbers that I need. But my last 4 are just going to be the light blue and the darker tealy blue, and then I'm going to do another round of light blue, and that'll be the penguin's belly. So I think it'll turn out really cute. For the girls, for speed, I think I'm only going to have them do the 2 rows instead of 3, because this is going to be a pretty large stuffed animal, and it takes a while, especially for the girls who are a little newer. It takes a while to make these. So if they're only 2 rows, then they'll be quicker, and the animal will be a little smaller, which I think will be easier to do. So that's my crochet project that I'm working on. Yes. And I don't know if you guys remember, if you watch my videos regularly, you probably will remember that I talked about neck pain. It's specifically here in my right shoulder here. And I thought it was from like knitting with cotton yarn. That's what I thought it was coming from. And that could be part of the issue. But it just recently started hurting me again. And it's not as bad as it was, but it has started hurting me again. And the biggest change in what I've been doing is crochet. So I feel like maybe that's what caused it in the first place. Because this past summer I did a whole crochet sweater for my daughter that turned out gorgeous. And so I think that crochet may be the thing that's causing it. So super sad. But knitting is my love more than crochet anyways. And I only have like 4 more of these to do. So after that I'm going to put away the hook for a while. But it's like this muscle right here, and I really think that this is the problem. So sad. Oh, I have one other thing to show you guys. The girls who are doing just granny squares, I want them to be able to create something with it as well. And there's a lot of things you can do. I mean, you could make a cardigan out of granny squares, and you can make, you know, bags out of granny squares. But if they only have 2 granny squares, they can make a chicken. Now, I can't take credit for this because my daughter made it, and it's not quite finished yet. But this is the beginning of a little granny square chicken. So the trick with this little granny square chicken is the seaming. You seam 3 sides, and then the last side you squish like horizontally and seam. And it needs a little beak and eyes and stuffing, and you can even add a little tail if you want. She did put the little comb on top. But it only takes 2 granny squares and then a little additional like eyes and a little beak to make a little chicken. So for the kids who can complete 2 granny squares, they will get a chicken. And for the ones who just don't really like it, if they can get 1 granny square, they can have a coaster. So there's always something you can do with granny squares. So I thought that would be a good skill for them to learn. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you guys are having fun crafting, and that you are having good weather. And yes, for those who are in all of the areas that have been flooded, that have been affected by the hurricane, yeah, I'm praying for them and sending money their way. Yes, please hold them up in your prayers too. And if you're one of them, know that we're thinking about you. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.